Tri-Feather doesn't even need the Scarab, he just deletes my beast before I can get to those perfect 9 rage stacks. And now he's smoking my Dawn. It's down to 17 HP. What is going on, Axie fam? Elijah here, back with another video. Today, I've got one I'm very excited for. We are winding down this season, Axie Origins Season 2. Man, what a journey it has been. I've had many feelings throughout this time and throughout all the different eras. A lot of frustration at moments, especially the epic era with Swirl Dominance. It was a very unfun play style to play against. I'm sure it was really fun for the people who were playing it and figured it out and dominated, and kudos to them for, you know, creating those breeds and making that happen. There's more diversity this season so far in the top 100 as we approach the finish line. I think we'll see a lot of AoE. I already am. I'm seeing tons and tons of it in the arena, but I still face Sustain, I still face Bubbles, I still face Swirls, right? Sometimes I even face Little Owl. I pretty much always steamroll it with my team, but it is out there, as you can see here. The J Merchant at 32, and there's a couple others who are playing the Triple Owl midline bird. So what I'm gonna do today is break down my team that I just went on a pretty amazing climb with in the arena. We're currently sitting at rank 30, and I think that this is pretty close to God tier AoE and what you want that to look like. So I'm gonna explain what that is, and then furthermore, even though this composition is, you know, very, very exceptional in terms of its firepower, I want to break down some things about gameplay in Origins. Whether you're playing Bubbles, AoE, Sustain, it doesn't really matter. I want to destroy this myth or this thing that was circulating, and it might have been more true at one point in the game than it is now, and that is that when you play this game, you just click your cards. That is total nonsense. Now, is Origins a perfect technical mastery game? Is it as enjoyable from a competitive standpoint as we want it to be? No, probably not. But every decision matters, and you need to think ahead. You need to keep track of what you've seen from your opponent. You need to, you know, every rage stack, every card, every little detail can make or break you, right? And this is gonna differentiate the people who are at the top, who stay and live at the top, versus the ones who are just average and stay in the middle or bottom of the ranks and can't climb up. That's number one, is that in-game execution is getting more and more serious, especially as complexity gets added into the game and especially as it becomes more diverse. And I'm gonna show some examples today, some fun games that I played. Obviously, your mindset is extremely important. I would say that's like right up there with your execution. This game can be extremely tilting. I've gone through it this season at times where I just fly off the fucking rails and it's like I can't even see my cards properly. When that happens, you gotta unwind, you gotta talk to a friend, you gotta talk to an ally, you gotta get your head straight. Luckily, I've got Meditate, I got Theban and 1437 and some of the best players in the world. But you know, if you're not in a guild, this is what you wanna be striving to do, to be in a guild, to get to a place where you can have that support of people who can, you know, just hear you out for a moment, right? So that's the second thing. The third thing that needs to happen in Origins is you need to be able to see into the future. What I mean by that is that there's always a bit of a gamble in Axie right now with buying Axies and deciding what's good and whatnot, right? So you need to be on your toes. When something looks like it's a good deal, buy it and flip it if you think it's only a short-term buy or a short-term deal. This is just if you're really wanting to be competitive, right? If you just want to play, aim for top 5,000, top 1,000, top 10,000, whatever your goals, it might be different for each person. If you're serious about being competitive, you got to navigate these waters from start to finish. You got to be knowing to buy, to flip, to sell. If something really has staying power, you want to hold it. Now, I think this is going to get a little more evened out as time goes on and Origins develops. This is only the second season, so there aren't even fully defined metas yet the way that there probably will be. And there will always be adjustments and new breeds and new ideas, but you'll also be able to probably have more longevity within your builds. In the meantime, you need to be paying attention to what's good, what's out there every step of the way, what looks like it might be really good toward the end, And that's where, you know, scanning the leaderboard comes into play. That's where keeping track of what you're seeing your opponents play in the arena matters, because you can pick up on things and take from things and add it to your own idea or your own comp. And so going into my team here, I'm just gonna use this as an example that, you know, I managed to get this right a little bit earlier in this era. Even just a few days ago, I, you know, went out there and kind of saw some of these Axies, and I basically decided to scoop up this team as I was putting things together. I was thinking about, you know, what could really pop off at the end here, and especially in AoE Mirror, I figured that Confident on the backline Beast is kind of a big deal. It gives you that extra burst and that advantage over your opponents that don't have it, and the rage stacks with the AoE damage is the real meat and potatoes of this build. So if you can gain a leg up on your opponent, it goes a long way. That being said, I managed to pick this one up for 0.12, as I said, just a few days ago. And since then, they've gotten a lot more, I think, noticed and popular. And if you were to look at that floor now, it's 0.25. When I say see into the future, you know, I'm not always getting it right. This is just one scenario where it happened, but it did happen across all three of my Axies. If we look at my bug that I'm using up front with Collect and Protect, super clean moveset. Everything you could want. Tri-Feather, Dual Blade, Little Peas. Obviously, the big three here is the Innocent Lamb, the Confident, and the Cottontail. Those are the things you absolutely need. Right next to that is the Tri-Feather. You ideally very much want to have that. But if you're running a budget build, as long as you have the ears, the mouth, and the tail, you are going to be okay. And for this, I paid 0.1 Ethereum. And if we go over to the bugs in the marketplace, you can get kind of an average version that has Little Branch. You're not thrilled about Little Branch, it's kind of a throwaway card, but that's still like an all-around solid moveset there with everything else in place. If you want the exact one with Little Peas Dual Blade, it's 0.22. The price has doubled on that specific Axie. And then finally, my Dawn I got for 0.059. I got that just 2 days ago. If you want to go get that right now, it's 0.095. So it is twice as expensive pretty much. So my whole team costs 0.28 Ethereum. And if you were to go out there and get it in the market now, it would cost over half of an Ethereum. So if you're wanting God tier AoE, it's still here. It's doing really, really well for me right now. But before I jump into these replays, I wanted to talk about, you know, if I had to build this from scratch on a budget, what would I pick, right? If I was on a really tight budget. So in that case, what I would do is, what's the essential cards that I need? On your Beast, obviously Tri-Feather, Earwing, Grandma Fan, Winghorn. Those are like things that you have to have. So if I search those in the marketplace, immediately the best looking thing probably for the price is this one with the Scar on the eyes for 38. Scar is a throwaway card, but it does banish, it thins out your deck, and everything else on this looks really nice. Right above that though, for a little more money, this is cool here. Cucumber Slice and the Hungry Bird on the mouth. I mean, not terrible for 40 bucks. I'd probably put a Sun Stamp on the Hungry Bird just to help out in those mirror matchups versus many Beast backliners that you're facing. Flamingo Hammer, very important there on the tail. I highly recommend playing Flamingo. And then you obviously want to Scotch tape your Winghorn. Now you're not going to go find replicates, but this whole point I'm trying to make is that you should be scanning the market for the essential parts and then using, you know, discerning methods of what makes sense about this and finding the deals that way, because every day new Axies are going to show up and often you'll find stuff that's very playable. If we take a look at the Dawns, I'm already on page 2 because page 1 was absolutely useless, but still for only $32 you're in the region of a very nice looking Dawn. Axie Kiss, Robin Eyes, Earwing, Tri-Feather, it's got everything you want as far as a budget build goes. These are very useful cards. Robin can sometimes come in clutch versus some slower builds that are out there. You can really stack up a ton of damage on Robin. I would be selecting this if I was on a budget. And then finally, for your frontliner, I'm assuming that if we're talking about a budget build, you're probably not running Collect and Protect, which means Last Wish is really gonna be your best choice, and you can put that on any Axie. So you're just gonna wanna go with whatever is cheapest. Again, what's our essentials? Innocent Lamb, Cottontail, Tri-Feather, Confident, right? Out of the first kind of floor options, I'd probably drop 50 bucks and get this one that has all playable cards. Chubby, I also have the Pliers with the pure damage. So basically for $120, if we were to take, you know, a quick flashback here at the Axies I've chosen, you would have a competitive looking, fierce AoE team that has a lot of firepower, right? Is it the exact god tier of collect and protect and every little detail that I showed you here with Kataro mouth and all of that? No. But can you get to the top 1,000? 100%. Can you go higher than that if you learn to master your team? 100%. So I hope that this was useful in, picking out an AoE team if that's what you're interested in playing at the home stretch here. And now that we've covered all that, I'm gonna look at some key execution gameplay moments, starting with this game from a couple days ago. Now, I actually hadn't switched to Kataro Mouth yet, so my midliner has Axie Kiss instead, but everything else about my team was the same. I fast forwarded, my beast is already dead, I'm up against Bubbles, and we're now in turn 9, and I'm playing Earwing first. I have a full hand here, right? But what I wanted to do was take a second here to ask you guys, what would your next play be? This is a very clutch round, right? He's got all kinds of firepower to potentially just kill me in the next round, not to mention his last wish is gonna do 40 damage. We're not gonna get another energy burst with our Cottontail. We're not going to 7 here, right? So is the answer just Winghorn? Is that the play? But it's not the right play, right? Even though in the fast pace of a game, you might just be automated to doing that. The problem is, how are we gonna deal with the explosion of the last wish plus the extra shield it gives to the midliner and backliner? I don't even have that many feather damage stacks for the feather daggers that I'm gonna get from Winghorn. So even though it's appealing, it's basically never gonna win me the game. I gotta dig deeper than that right here. So what I end up doing is Earwing, but I'm trying to actually avoid killing this frontliner here and doing as much to the back and the midline as possible. I think that's really my only chance of winning, even though things are pretty grim. So I think I go Tri-Feather on my beast. Oh no, Little Peas on the back. Actually, that makes sense. And then Tri-Feather. So Grandma Fan with my feather stacks would have killed his frontline, so I don't play that on my bird. I go Little Piece, Tri-Feather, totally makes sense looking back at it. Even if it's unlikely that this goes exactly as I want, basically I'm trying to avoid the frontliner. It's my only shot, so I gotta be patient, make the right move. Here it works out. We hit the mid, the back. We heal up our backliner because we don't want our Dawn to die next round, ideally. So if we look at his draw here, we can see that if I would have gone the other route and burst through his frontliner, I'd have taken about 44 extra damage on my mid. And with Gil and Incisor, he actually could have flat out killed my Dawn, right? But because we didn't trigger that last wish, we live to fight another day. This is exactly what I needed to do to clutch this game out. But now that we've made it here, we're gonna go in for the kill. This has worked out for us, and I think we start with the Winghorn, break down the door, just going to barely get it there with the Tri-Feather. He's got vulnerables, and then we follow it up, and that is gonna be a dead Dusk just by about 3 or 2 HP, right? So there you have it. That's the first example of a game where you just need to pause there in those moments toward the end, where one misstep that might look like a normal play, in that case it would have been playing the Winghorn, can actually just lose you the game. Now I want to move into 2 games that I played today. One is versus a very creative player from Griffiths. I do not want to butcher his name here, so I'm just gonna highlight his name up here in the right hand corner. He beats me all the time. He has beaten me almost every time I've played him this season. So I know it's going to be a tough matchup for me, and he's got a super interesting team. He's very unique, and kudos to him because he's the only one who's playing this, which is Cuckoos all over the place, Kois, tons of backdoor damage. Even this choice of a rune up front is brilliant, where whenever hit, this Axie is going to give leaves to his other Axies. So with abilities like Winghorn, you end up putting 7-8 leaves on this mid and backliner, and they have so much healing potential. I'm really impressed with his play style and his composition. This game is going to be pretty interesting. What I'll do, here is fast forward a bit because it's been a very long video already, and also we're going to look at another game after this. But essentially, we're both kind of building up, making our standard plays, and here's where things get really spicy, okay? So this is turn 5. He's got 3 Cuckoos, 11 energy bursts because he has his team so finely crafted that he has Nemo ears to get to tons of energy very quickly, and he's got Cottontails to follow it up, and he's got 3 freaking Cuckoos on his bug. This is upwards of 200 extra damage about to come flying in at me. And then, like I said, Piranha, 248 plus 99, or is that a freaking joke? And then he's got Cottontails, another Piranha. I barely got to do anything with my beast, and he's dead. So this is one of those moments where I'm like, I'm having a good day of playing, and then this happens, and I have to keep my composure as we continue. Now, one thing I will say, I do something that I think players don't do enough perhaps with Innocent and Cottontail up front. In certain matchups, I take the Cottontail. I don't play the other Confident. And this is one of them because I know that his team, even though he killed my backliner very quickly, this is gonna be a bit of a slower game than a sheer firepower AoE mirror matchup, right? Where I'm never gonna get a chance to play the Cottontail. Plus, he's gonna focus on my backliner first, giving me more time on my bug and my energy fragments to potentially play 2 Cottontails. So I take it here, I take it against Bubble Aquas, a Cottontail that is, instead of Confident. He did kill my beast immediately, but at least I do have that bug, and I do have that second Cottontail. He's continuing to build. We do land a Grandma Fan with weak, so his, unfortunately, he clears it. He's doing so much damage on my Dawn already. And now this is a very big turn for me. I have a full hand, so Earwing does 61 damage. Tri-Feather on my frontline bug. I'm gonna go ahead and play 1 Cottontail, and then I have this beautiful card, Kataro. It's so precious where I can heal again. I can now play my Winghorn. Huge turn for me. I'm gonna get 6 feathers. That's the dream right there. Tons of damage. We've gotten up to 18 feather stacks on my Dawn. And I don't remember the exact details of the earlier parts of the game, but I think I was prioritizing attack cards on my Dawn actually to help me get to these 19 stacks faster, because I knew that my beast was going to go down. Either that or my beast just died extremely quickly, and that's what I was left with. But, either way, we're now sort of in a winnable position, and this is all just, me not losing it mentally, and also, pre-planning with the little thing, even just like the extra Cottontail instead of a Confident. So we redraw our Winghorn, huge damage on the front, the midliner has 1 HP, we play our Earwing, it dies, and then we've got 6 feathers again, we're doing huge damage, and now it's just a bit of a waiting game, but just like that, we flipped the script. He killed my most important asset, which was my backline beast, in the first few rounds of the game, and now we're in a spot where this is gonna be too much for him to come back from, even with all of the shield and defenses that he has. This final round there with the Tri-Feathers and Dual Blade, down goes the bug. We pick up the W. So now we have Katsuya, a top 50 player, and this is where we're gonna wrap the video up. I think I will try to go through this whole replay. We start off with the D grade Confident. We have 4 rage stacks on the backliner and a Tri-Feather up front. That's a very nice first round in that we are building our rage, and we already have some feathers on our Axies. One thing I'll say about feathers when you guys are playing, you don't really need to stack a huge amount of feathers on this team. You just need enough to get going. So these 2 feather stacks is what allows me to gain the damage buff that is the other icon that shows up next to it that we'll see here in a minute. As long as I don't go down to 0 feathers, those other stacks will keep going up. So I just need to stay above 0, and sometimes that just takes calculating like how many turns are left in the game, right? Do I really need to play Tri-Feathers or Grandma Fans for extra feather stacks? Probably not in a lot of cases, where you're better off just, prioritizing more effective cards, and really you almost always just want to be prioritizing your beast cards because of how much insane damage it's going to do. Round 2, Tri-Feather, Grandma Fan, very nice for us. There's those feather damage stacks, as you can see. They are going up, and as long as this second one here stays above 0, I'm gonna be okay. So here's where things get a little sour. All his stuff is hitting my backliner. The Kataro just slapped for 2 hits. I'm down to 205 HP. And here is an interesting round. I'm at 7 stacks, 8 stacks of rage, which is very nice. That's gonna be huge damage. But I don't have a way to get into my Cottontail value. I only have 3 out of 15 fragments, and I don't have Kataro on the mouth. So what do I elect to do here? Probably just a Grandma Fan and a Chubby would seem to make the most sense. I don't think I'm gonna die, right? Because I still have 200 HP. Here's an Earwing for 73 damage. Tri-Feather doesn't even need the Scarab. He just deletes my beast before I can get to those perfect 9 rage stacks. And now he's smoking my Dawn. It's down to 17 HP. My frontline bug is about to get slapped in the face with 6 or 5 feather daggers from this monstrous beast of his. And all his Axies have so much health. What in the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Actually, this looks like an unwinnable match. Did I even click the right replay? Because I don't know if I can pull this off, and if I do, I don't remember how I did. Let's see. Let's just take a second. What would I want to do here, right? I'm gonna comfy the back line Dawn, and I'm guessing Tri-Feather, Winghorn, Earwing with max stacks, right? Make sure you order this right. Get the feathers first. Then we're gonna heal. We heal the frontline Bug. Why? His deck is about to reset. If I can kill both of these and he draws poorly on his beast, maybe I have a chance, right? We don't heal this Dawn because it's probably not gonna make it no matter what. I've got 60 shield from Collect and Protect. Here comes the Earwing. 61 damage, 59 damage, 69 damage on the backline beast, and we've got our Feather Daggers. We're gonna swing away at this frontline Bug. It is going to die. It's not really gonna do anything to this backline beast. But is it enough? We managed to claw back just a little bit here. We managed to get great Contail value. His deck is resetting. He just played Winghorn, so he can't have it again, and its Earwing kills my backline Dawn, and he's got 2 swords and a Grandma fan. It's not gonna be enough. That's 71 damage with a 20 damage card. All of his buffs make it do 70 plus, but only 50 on the sword, and I live with 11 HP. I need to draw okay here too, because I don't really have good cards. This is just a random, mediocre Bug offensively, but I get little P's, I get Tri-Feather, and I get a dagger, a fallen dagger sword. And we managed to win an absolutely insane game. Very, very close game. And these are just things that it's this much difference of a move, right? It's like losing your cool a little bit and not ordering properly where, you get the most damage out of your Earwing or the most damage out of your Confidence or your daggers, right? There's a lot of nuanced things, and I hope that this video shines some light on the complexities of Origins. I hope that things get even more intricate over time and intriguing from a gameplay competitive perspective. And I hope this maybe helped you with a budget AoE team or God tier AoE team. If you want to go full God tier, you kind of know what to look for now, at least a little bit, hopefully. And yeah, this is probably the longest Origins video I've ever put out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to kind of pour my heart and soul into this final video of this season because I'm not filming another one for the rest of the season. So enjoy, have a great climb, a great push. I'm going on vacation after this. I love you guys. I'll see you shortly. I'll see you probably within the next couple weeks at some point. Peace.